Welcome inside the calm before the storm. I'm Lenny Green. Joining me tonight are these two very, very special ladies I've been telling you about for quite some time. You know, we have another installment when it comes to the Real Housewives. This is the eighth installment, if my recollection serves me correctly. So we've been hearing about this reality show called The Real Housewives of Potomac, and I'm lucky enough to have Miss Cherie Jackson joining with me and Robyn Dixon with me, two of the members of the cast. It's a total of six ladies.
Yes.
First of all, I just want to welcome you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for
stopping
having
by and
us.
saying hello to me.
It's a
Appreciate
pleasure.
the love. The pleasure and honor is mine. Now, you know what? For those of us who haven't been very, very fortunate to visit the area of Potomac, can you first give me an idea and everybody an idea where's Potomac and everything that comes along with Potomac?
Well, Potomac is on the Virginia side of Maryland. It's a residential area, very nice area, very wealthy area as well.
Fluent, very affluent.
Very affluent.
Very,
Right out-
extremely.
Right
Gated
outside of
mansions
DC.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of the politicians, the business people, the
Right.
movers and shakers in the DC area. When they
Wow.
come to DC, if they want to live, in a nice big house, they move to Potomac.
Right.
So that's where I pretty much need to socialize.
Right.
Next time I go down to that area. Okay, so
Right.
now I know. So now, who, an affluent area, you often don't want cameras in there a lot. You know, you don't want to.
You're right.
hmm
But you ladies were brave enough, and I say that strongly,
Yeah.
to allow the cameras to come in to learn about the lifestyle of the rich and famous. Now, one would assume, and tell me if I'm wrong, when you have a very wealthy or comfortable lifestyle, the problems go away. Like everyday problems
Really?
go away. That's the
That
presumption.
bypassed me.
Oh,
I'm
that
just telling you.
bypassed
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Serious? Please explain how
I think
that,
my problems were a lot bigger.
really.
Yeah.
Well, we always have problems.
Right.
But we as regular folks sometimes don't understand the problems of the affluent. Now, in watching the show, and congratulations on season 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Season 2 underway, ladies, on the Bravo Network. Make sure you check your local listings to find out, and you can get a real in-depth perspective on these ladies. So I don't like to talk about people when they're not here, but we're going to have to do a little shade today and talk about at least a couple of the members that
Okay.
are not with you ladies
No problem.
today. So once again, Charrisse Jackson Jordan is with me, and Robyn Dixon is with us. Let's start with one of your situations. How about you being the last episode, I think you're creating something nice for yourself, a champagne room.
Correct. Hmm.
Now, we should just inform everyone that you were recently divorced.
No, I'm not divorced yet.
Not officially divorced.
I'm legally separated.
Separated. Okay.
Well, am I
Um,
legally separated? Well, we're living in two different situations for an extended period of time, so
So you've
we'll
already
just say it's legal.
right. I'm assuming you changed the locks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that often happens. Well,
Not that I was changing it because I didn't want him to come in. I
no,
just,
of course not.
felt I needed to change.
For
The
your own,
locks.
right?
Did
For
you
your
really
own,
change the locks?
and you have every right to do that.
And the garage code. Does he have a garage opener?
No. Sorry.
Maybe we'll find out some additional information before we leave out here tonight. But your situation is pretty interesting because you have a daughter now who's now in college,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it right now, right?
Right. I have a son that's 19 and he's in prep school in
He's in prep
Connecticut, and I have a daughter that's 17 who's a junior in high school.
And you have two other little babies,
No, that's it.
two little puppies.
Prada and Louie,
Come on,
yeah.
they're little babies, aren't they?
But you're absolutely right.
You have to take care of them, don't you?
They are worse than
See, you
kids.
thought I said a bad thing.
You're right. I thought I had some, kids I didn't know about.
Right,
A lot of that going
Trying to
on.
put that on the table for you. But Charrisse, your situation is pretty interesting because you're a socialite, a very big socialite in the area, and has the climax of Potomac changed since the Obamas pretty much are no longer in the White House?
It's a little different. Yeah, it's different. I would say people are a little more expressive about their feelings or dislikes.
Mhm.
So it is different. And in fact, having children, even young people are, just feeling free to let you know they don't like you and just do hideous things to one another. So it's a little
Wow.
unusual.
And I think for people in our community, the air kind of was sucked out of us a little bit. When Obama was in office, there was a pride that it was an unspoken pride that, you know, you walk around and you're just so proud. And now it feels like the air's been sucked out a
Hey,
little
from what
bit.
I heard, there was a basketball court in the White House. I don't know if that basketball court
It's still there.
exists.
I don't know if
Still there.
anybody using
I
it,
don't know
but
if
it's
any-
there.
I doubt
children,
it.
The children probably going to use it. No question about that. Robyn Dixon,
Yes, sir.
you have a very interesting situation
I do.
too. And we're going to find out a little bit more. I should have had you ladies on Confessions of Love tonight because we could really delve into love and relationships.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Lord knows both of you guys could probably give me a wealth of information, and all of us for that matter. But Robyn, your situation is pretty interesting in regard that you are a former NBA wife of Juan Dixon,
Yep.
who actually used to play with my cousin,
Yeah.
the Wizards.
Yeah,
So you're very, very familiar with the D.C. area.
absolutely.
But your husband, who's divorced from you,
Right.
is also living with you,
Right.
which is that the new trend of I'm just trying to understand.
The
So I
new
haven't
normal.
stepped into that world. yet.
Right.
That's a
The
new
new
normal.
normal, right. No, I mean, that's our normal for right now. We function as a family. We have 2 small boys. And when we divorced, you know, we had just kind of been through a lot, and sometimes you just need to divorce, just end it in order to make a positive change. But our love for each other, like we want the best for each other, that's never changed. And we went through a lot of setbacks financially, and so we kind of had to come together to make the best out of our situation. And so that's what we've been doing for the past few years. Now we're kind of in a place where the financial issues really aren't as prevalent anymore, but it's also about our children and providing them with a 2-parent household, which is very important to me and important to Juan. Now, that's not to say that like we don't like each other or we don't even see a possibility of something in the future for us to reconcile.
Because it seems like your relationship has gotten a little.
It's, you know, honestly, if we were still married and had not gotten divorced, we probably would be miserable and hate each other. And it would, you know, it probably just would have been very tense. So the divorce was really a good thing for us to get to a better place.
I like to say, in their situation, instead of being in love, so to speak, it's more like a love of family.
Yeah.
That's the primary, you know, thing with them.
Because of the children.
Yeah. And not even just the children. I mean, we've known Juan and I started dating when we were 16.
Wow.
And, you know, his story is very unique. Both of his parents passed away by the time he was 15. And so I immediately became family to him and he became family to me. So we just have a long history where, you know, if we're going through something, we're going to try to help each other out of that. And on the flip side, if we're experiencing great things in life, we're going to be each other's biggest cheerleader.
Well, but it seems like it's a strong chance of reconciliation in your world.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because not unless you have separate bedrooms.
No, they don't. Listen to me like I live there.
Right.
I know, Charrisse. Like I got the ladies of Potomac with me tonight. I got Charrisse Jackson Jordan with me and Robyn Dixon. I know you ladies love music. Give me one of your favorite slow jams.
Oh, the Quiet Storm. You know, I'm from Jersey.
You
So
are?
I listened to WBLS all of my life.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
Ken Spiderweb, Frankie Crocker.
Oh, wow, the
Is
legends.
Bob Lee still around with
Dr. Bob
the
Lee.
van?
Well, he stopped the van.
Oh, he
but-
stopped the
but
van?
he pops up here and there
Oh,
from time
okay,
to time for
yeah.
Steve Harvey. The other ladies that make up the franchise, The Real Housewives of Potomac, pretty interesting array of personalities, one might say, right?
Absolutely.
Robyn, I'm going to call you the net.
Okay.
You're the net between Charrisse and Giselle, and I'm
Yes.
sure many people have called you that, the
I'm
net,
caught in the middle.
because you're the balance
Yes.
of a pretty interesting friendship. You know, we're all in our circles. We all have someone who
Right.
outstands. We all have someone who's cool. We all have we have a lot of different characters in all
Right.
of our circles of life. So it really is no surprise, but it's interesting. And this is the part I was telling you about a little earlier, about I have to talk about this. But it seems like Giselle is we should fill out an application if we're going to live in Potomac and present it to her, because she's going to either do an interview with you one-to-one,
Right.
or she's going to find out your resume verbally, as she has did with Monique,
right,
recently,
right.
which was pretty interesting. So how do you balance? Because, you know, it's all about the sisterhood. It's all about, you know,
Yeah.
ladies coming together and just gelling. And I know, you know, she stepped on a area with you that was very sensitive, as it should be. And I don't know if there's any turning back from that. You know, you can forgive, but obviously we never forget.
Yeah.
But if we can start over, we can start over. So I think it's only fair if I start with you, Charrisse, and ask you, what's the relationship like, with you and Giselle? And do you think it's going to become better, being so, she has apologized for her actions?
No.
Okay. So, Robyn, I thought it was very commendable for you
Thank you.
to kind of put her in check,
Right.
so to speak, because just somebody has to put you in check at the end of the day, and she seemed like she took it very, very well, but I don't know how well that stays, because Giselle, and I don't know her, Giselle, if you're
Thank
watching this,
Right.
Count your blessings.
Right. I mean,
if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
I know.
You should have came for the interview, but what happens from this point?
Yeah.
How do you balance two sisters and try to get one of them who could be a little more outrageous than
right.
A little?
normal person?
You're being
No.
kind.
Well, you know what? Giselle has a mouth on her. We all know that, and she knows that. But the thing about me is I call it like it is. Whether you're my friend or not, or who am I loyal to? Like, that doesn't mean anything. If I think you're wrong and I'm giving you my opinion, I'm going to tell you the truth. So at any moment, when she's running her mouth, I'll let her know, like, okay, you're getting a little, carried away. But
is she absorbing it? I mean, is she a person
she does. She actually does absorb it. I think she does.
Does
And
she?
She does.
Really?
Yes, she does. We have private
Charrisse is
conversations where I
Very
tell her
private.
that where we talk, and she
private without you.
she
Without me.
she understands that she.
Giselle has private conversations with herself, too.
Well,
Uh-oh.
I mean, don't we all? But
That would be a little special.
With
private.
me. With me. She has conversations with me by herself.
Wow.
oh, okay.
So would you say
said she's making stuff up.
would both of you say that for the most part, aside from Giselle, everyone pretty much gels?
Then you have Karen. I mean,
Yes, I
I
forgot
can't.
about Karen.
And then you have
But
Ashley.
Karen and Giselle
I
work
mean,
well together.
Do they?
Well,
It depends on
better
what
than
day it
most.
is.
Yeah, it really depends. Right now, they work okay together.
Okay.
But Karen's one, like, just with the flip of the switch, it can
Right.
everything can change. And
God bless her husband, though. So, ladies, Robyn, your situation is pretty interesting because you have two young boys who you are saying that they're kind of spiraling out of control a little bit. And I saw them in the dentist's office, so I would have to agree with you. But in addition to that, your ex-husband lives with you.
Right.
And you don't have separate bedrooms.
No.
Is that for the sake of the children?
Not that we function as a family for the sake of the children.
Right.
Now, when I tell you that Juan he only has to tell them something one time, and they listen.
The alpha man.
There you have it,
The alpha
right?
man, right.
So, I mean, I can't even imagine if I was there by myself. Like, I would lose my mind. And with them, I pick my battles because, they actually like to show off for the cameras. So they turn it up a little bit. So it looks a little worse than it is when the cameras are rolling.
But this is where Juan comes in.
And that's where he comes in. He's the one where I can, I really can just say, "Do you want me? I'm about to FaceTime Daddy. I'm about to FaceTime your dad," and they're like, "Oh no, we're good." Right. So, I just really see the importance of having that male figure in my kids' life, especially because they're boys, and it's very important to Juan too because he did not have that male figure in his life, and he wanted to give his kids a different life.
I commend Juan for being a real dude and understanding his responsibilities. I love when men step up and they're there for the children because that's really the most quintessential thing you have to do.
It is, especially at that age. I mean, they're still young. You're still shaping them. And so, if this is temporary, then okay. But if it can lead to maybe even a rekindle relationship, then that's even better.
So you're open to that?
I'm open to it. I mean, I'm open to it maybe in the future.
You know what? That's.
I know that.
Come on, Robyn. Let's keep it real. Come on now.
I know.
There's still
I know.
There's still wonderful things in paradise.
I know.
Behind closed doors. Charrisse, you're going through a transitional moment, but you're starting to now focus on Charrisse.
Absolutely.
And that's so important, especially with what you have been through. What could you share with us who are challenged? I recently sat down with Mary J. Blige, and she's going through something as well. So there's a lot of women out here that feel your pain, that may be understanding of what you personally may be going through. What advice could you render to someone tonight?
Well, I think when it comes to being even a mother, we typically put ourselves on the back front. We
Mhm.
let, spend the focus on our children, the husband, whatever. We lose ourselves. And the best advice I could give is fall in love with yourself. Because if you don't love you, then no one else is going to love you like you. So that's what I'm doing. I'm falling in love with Charrisse again.
But how
That's
do you do
awesome.
that? I mean, you have a daughter now in college,
Hmm.
but in her
Well,
earlier
my
years,
daughter's in high school still.
oh,
My son's in college.
I get it. I'm sorry,
Well, not even college, prep school.
prep school.
Hmm.
But how do you do that when children are still going through that focus? Like you really don't have time for yourself. I'm speaking in question because I don't have any children yet. So
Hmm.
I'm speaking in question in terms of the quality time that my mom had spent with me growing up.
Right.
It takes away from her personal
Absolutely.
time for self. So
Absolutely.
how do you balance that quality time for yourself and deal with everything that you have to deal with,
Well,
with your
the
children
good
and
thing
your
is
family?
now my children are older. Now, when they're younger, you have to be more hands on. I remember years ago, I went to a counselor, a marriage counselor, and she asked me, "What do you do that makes you happy, just you exclusively?" And I'm like, "Oh, I do the community service, writing a check, it makes me feel good." And she's like, "No, that's for somebody else.
Mm.
What do you do for Charisse?" And actually, I'm finding that out now. Like what makes Charisse happy because I was so out of touch with myself
Right.
that I didn't even know what that was. Something that was exclusively for Charisse. That's one of the reasons I did the champagne room because that was a selfish act.
So
It was all
that's
about me.
that's your male version of what we call
Man cave.
The
man
man
cave.
cave.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, so what's going to be in the champagne room? Can you share?
Champagne.
And I saw the sign. And
No sex in a champagne room.
well, that's in the club. But what happens in your house?
No, it's an intimate setting where I can have friends over, just a few, like 3 friends outside of myself, and we can sit and have champagne and
Wow. You guys do very interesting things in Potomac.
Mhm.
One of the things that you do is the high tea gatherings.
Mhm.
What the heck is high tea? Help me understand, because I understand about uptown, downtown tea.
Yeah.
But
Right.
what's high tea?
High tea. Well, they don't have that. Doesn't happen very often.
it doesn't.
How does
Um,
how does it happen in Potomac?
It doesn't.
I mean, it can happen
Actually-
as often as you want it to.
Yeah. We're
Um,
used to doing themes. So,
Hmm.
it could be Indian theme, it could be pajama party, that day was high tea.
High tea.
Yeah, high
But it's,
champagne.
I mean,
but it comes
is
from the
an
British
experience,
culture.
right? It is a
Yeah.
cultural experience, and so I feel like just maybe in the DC area as a whole, that's just culturally one of the experiences that you can choose to participate in. It's nothing that every person in Potomac
I got it.
participates
Yeah.
in high tea, but if you've been exposed to maybe certain organizations, like for instance, I grew up in Jack and Jill, and I know I've attended a
Mm.
high tea through Jack
Right.
and Jill.
Mhm.
Karen was in Jack and Jill, and high tea was her idea. So I'm
Right.
sure that spawns from some of the organizations that we've been in that kind of try to expose you to other parts of our of culture, not just
Right.
Black culture.
Okay. Okay.
I was a debutante.
Oh.
Yes, we had high tea as well.
Okay. Okay.
In New Jersey.
Really?
Yes.
What part of Jersey was that?
Somerset. Well, New Brunswick was where I was part of the cotillion.
Wow.
Yeah.
And cotillions are very, very important. Well, I can see that the life of a socialite is pretty exciting. What do you most enjoy about it?
I like supporting great causes, and that's the only reason why I do it. I don't really like the term socialite. I don't. To
What
me, it
term-
just seems very I don't know,
Pretentious.
pretentious. Yes.
Philanthropist would be a better.
I like philanthropist.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a better term for
Okay.
me. But
So do you support a lot of historical Black college events or
I'm
community
a
events?
graduate of Morgan State University,
You better go.
HBC.
My mother was her marketing professor.
Yes, she
No
was.
Isn't that,
way.
isn't that
Isn't it a
funny?
small world?
Microscopic.
Her mom was the baddest thing on campus. She was
A
sharp.
great
Oh my
woman.
God. She could dress her butt off. All of the students wanted to be like Miss Bragg. That was her maiden
I
name.
know that's right.
Right?
No,
No,
that's
that's
my
your
maiden
maiden
name,
name.
yeah.
Right. Never mind. But her
Wow.
mom, amazing. And small world. I saw her when
Mhm.
my husband coached Juan
Mhm.
one day at a game. When I saw her mom, I'm like, oh my God, that's my favorite professor. And it was her mom. It was like crazy.
And her husband is Eddie Jordan, just in case you don't know. But I do encourage you to definitely look at the program, the Real Housewives of Potomac. It's on the Bravo Network. Please check your local listings. if you're in different parts of the country. What can we expect? If you can tell me one little secret along the way. I know you're really tight-lipped about this, and your people are looking over your shoulder. But season 2, are we expecting positive turmoil? I mean,
Well,
are we expecting a reconciliation of love? Are we seeing two sisters getting back together again? You know,
You'll
to
see.
just be cool with each other?
Yeah.
I will say this for myself. Last season, I was in my own little fog. This season, I'm like all over the place. I'm having a good time.
alive.
I'm arguing, using bad words. I mean,
You're living
just
life.
Yeah,
living
she's
life,
alive.
Enjoying
exactly.
yourself every
Having a
minute.
great time.
Great time. You know, we only get one life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Turn it
You'll
up.
see a lot of confrontation between the ladies. But the good thing about us is that we're able to resolve our issues and move
Sometimes.
on to the next one.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So, well, yeah, sorry, sometimes. But additionally, like, you know, just for me, I do kind of personally explore my living situation and my relationship a little bit more. So,
That's good.
Mm.
So we're all going to
Yeah.
learn a little bit more about what goes on behind closed doors.
exactly.
How is the ladies dealing with the situation, the older man, younger woman situation? Ashley?
Yeah,
Ashley.
Ashley.
So how is that among
What situation
do you
exactly are
mean?
you
well, I mean,
talking
they're
about?
husband and wife? But,
Right.
you know, sometimes that's not even, I don't know if Giselle was even accepting of that fact because, you know, he's older than, you know, than his wife. And sometimes society as a whole has a problem when an older man,
Right.
Right.
you know,
We
dates
make
or with an older
assumptions.
woman. It's different with y'all. You know, with
Yeah.
when a woman dates a younger man, it's not looked upon in bad terms per se,
Right.
as opposed to a man dating or with a
Right.
younger woman.
Well,
Right.
I mean, I guess from our perspective, upon first meeting Ashley, you know, our thoughts are like, wow, you know, that's just very odd. And, you know, what would make her want to even date him?
Right.
So those automatic questions about,
Yeah,
you know,
she's
the money
very
thing.
young, very
um,
attractive.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know,
Not to say he's not.
I think automatically when you hear a young girl with a rich older man, you assume it's for one reason and one
Right.
reason only. But
Mhm.
they do actually get along well. They have a lot of fun together, and they kind of they work. You know, I don't look at
They
them
gel
and
right.
say like,
Yeah.
oh, that's weird. Like they actually work. So
Yeah, Michael's actually a fun guy. You know, we have a
Yeah,
lot
he
of
seems to
fun
be
with
more
Michael.
adventuresome.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
yeah,
than-
he
than
is.
she
He's
can be.
and he's a really nice guy. So I mean, we'll see what happens with them. I know they have a new restaurant that is
Right.
really causing a lot of stress on their marriage. So you know, we'll see what happens. But I do wish them the best.
Yeah.
If the sex is not good, does the relationship get bad?
Yeah, it can. Well, it depends. Yes, it can absolutely.
But if the sex is great,
It could probably save a relationship.
it can, but
It
you can also
could.
still have a bad relationship. I don't
Yeah.
think sex will make a relation or keep a relationship great. You got to have more than that.
so as much as sex shouldn't be the primary focus, it plays a very, very
It's still
important
important.
vital role.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's still very important.
Maybe
I
we'll
mean, it's
have to
all
use
part
I
of the
think it's
intimacy
all about how you
and
treat the
just-
person. Because I know for me, the thing that does it for me is just knowing that this person is head over heels in love with me. When I turn around, he's still checking me.
Sure,
You know,
sure.
stuff like that is, you know, goes a lot further than the actual act of sex.
I agree. So chivalry plays
Chivalry.
Chivalry
Yes.
plays a
is
big role.
yeah, and that's kind
Definitely.
of one of like what I want from Juan. I think if he was a little more chivalrous and even more hands on, just you know, around the home and just taking on a little bit more responsibility, that would be very important and much more of a turn on for me than like anything else.
But I remember you saying once that, you know, maybe you took the mothership role early on.
Yeah,
And, you know, sometimes when we do that with men, because I listen to some women who have, you know, young sons, and if they don't give them that responsibility early on,
Right.
right,
then they become very dependent
Right.
on what's given.
So I almost created a monster.
There you go.
So I'm
Bobby,
taking,
there
you know,
you go.
I take
A piece of it.
responsibility for
A
that.
piece-
I
just a
really
piece-
do.
Just a piece
So
of it.
now we're trying to, you know, get out of it and move
Men who
forward.
walk on his own.
Yeah.
Ladies, I can't thank you enough for coming by. I
Thank
will
you.
be watching. It's a very interesting
Thank you.
series.
Yeah,
That's all I
thanks
can
for
say.
having us.
Thank
And I wish you much continued success in the upcoming seasons, because this is not going to be the end. It's far from the end. for
Thank
sure.
you. We
Thanks.
appreciate
The
that.
Real Housewives of Potomac, baby. The Bravo Network. You'll catch these ladies and their cast members and see what really goes on in Potomac. The Choir's still up next. Stay close.